Hello and welcome back to part 2 of our Tuesday Gr3 Racing Recap. We've saved the best till last with the remaining 2 races coming up for you, where we will crown our final winners. So without any further delay, let's get into the penultimate race of the night, Dragon's Trail Gardens. An unusual track choice in the RDR lobbies, I must admit, but there was plenty of action on offer. Luke assumed pole position with DJ in second until DJ jumps the grid start, causing him to fall down to 12th by the time the pack arrived at the first corner. Luke took the grid through the first chicane with Crumpen breathing down his neck, but with only a few slight wobbles, the largest of which came from the contact between Silliapu and Matt, all racers managed to keep up the pace. Into the hairpin at turn 5, SAS and JHS go wheel to wheel and share a moment which sees SAS travel wide. He loses grip while trying to recover and finds himself down in last place. Back with the action now, and the next few corners were full of it as Silliapu is squeezed out alongside Matt. DJ behind just clipped the gravel X in turn 8, causing DJ to spin himself trying to avoid the collision. Further up the grid, JHS then ran wide into the barrier and caused him to drop 3 positions. Lap 2 saw a battle break out between 3rd and 4th. Jolvo and Deluxe closely raced side by side for most of the second lap, constantly tossing the 3rd place back and forth between themselves before Deluxe managed to secure 3rd on the last corner. Jolvo ran wide midway through and landed himself into the claws of Webby from the start of lap 3. Not liking the position he found himself in, though, Jolvo decided to do something about it and pulled off this magnificent move into the chicane. But it wouldn't last for long, as a poorly set up exit meant Deluxe, Webby and Astral move up the grid once more. A poor exit at the chicane on lap 4 left Deluxe open as Astral navigated his way into 3rd. Deluxe fought back for it though through turns 5 and 6, succeeding by taking back 3rd at turn 7. Astral stayed with the Citroen for the rest of the lap, with Jolvo closing in behind Webby in 6th. As lap 5 begins, Jolvo chances the inside through turn 1, succeeding and placing Webby's Ferrari nicely behind him. At the chicane, Crumpen makes a catastrophic mistake, sending him near the barrier heading out of turn 3. Deluxe and Astral pick up the pieces and move up, giving Astral the final position on pole. Crumpen tries to make up for it with a risky push into the hairpin, and the much calmer RCF of Astral then fell victim to a shunt from the AMG. Deluxe swings out wide in the closing corners of lap 5, allowing Astral and the RCF to pass through. Crumpen also runs wide and falls into the grip of Jolvo and Webby. The chicane at the start of the lap seems to be causing the most issues here, as we see Jolvo lose the rear end at the exit and drop to 9th. The grid settled down on the final lap, only leaving SAS to make a move on Matt at the tightest corner on the track, placing himself 10th. But let's focus now then on Luke and the GTR, who held a dominant run here at Gardens to take the flag in first place. Astral across the line in second, and Deluxe 3rd. Luke picking up the fastest lap 2 with a 1:31.126. Time then for the controversial one, our final race of the evening at Nürburgring 24-hour circuit. As we watched the sun go down and the lights go out for the final time on Tuesday, DJ was on pole, but quickly handed it over to Astral with a poor start. Deluxe, on the other hand, had a lightning start, putting him in second place at the first corner, but as expected, the first turn wasn't so smooth for everyone. There were a few bumps throughout the pack, starting with Crumpen clipping the rear of DJ's M6 on the apex. Further back from 12th, Silliapu hits the brakes, but nowhere near as early as he should have, affecting over 50% of the drivers in the race. This caused a domino effect as the affected cars scrambled back within limits, and Matt and the M6 joined back just before the apex of turn 2, throwing 6 cars off their lines. There's a naughty little tap from the admittedly laggy Zach in the RDR Porsche to the back of Silliapu's RSR, allowing Zach to take his position freely. Luckily, Silliapu recovered it well, and at the front of the race, Deluxe and Astral were tied into a battle, until the slight mistake put him into the claws of DJ and Crumpen upon entrance to the Nordschleife. Just a few cars back, Jolvo found himself smooching the wall as JHS squeezes him out. Moments later, we see Zach and Matt collide just after North Turn, sending Zach off into the barriers. He rejoins, hoping to find some pace, but instead finds Blaze in 11th, who draws short straw and heads for the barriers. As this group headed for Quiddleback High, AJ got stung with a spin from the inside curb at Great Oaks, surprising the rest of the grid as they all came past. A small slip on the exit saw Vantage drop 2 places, but he kept himself running. Second through to 4th were locking in through Swedish Cross and Arenberg, going bumper to bumper through Foxhole. All 3 hungry for that second place. The heat of this battle increased at Callum Forest when DJ received a tap from Crumpen, costing him a few seconds. They close up once more through Little Valley until the fight reached boiling point at Stalstrach. Crumpen forced a gap over the curb and the collision sends D-Lox into the wall. Initially, DJ finds himself clear of the carnage until D-Lox sends his M6 round while trying to recover. Crumpen's the only one to come out unharmed in third as JHS assumes second. D-Lox and DJ were left down in 8th and 9th to pick up the pieces. The attack for second place was on for Crumpen and Jolvo as they quickly built up the pressure on JHS, leading to the mistake from the Ferrari exiting the whip-em-up. A collision from Crumpen followed, ultimately bringing JHS's time in the podium positions to an end. Astro was out in front at this point by a considerable margin until he landed awkwardly at the jump and took himself off to the marshals for it. Webby was in third until the second carousel after a poor entrance put him back into the grass. Meanwhile, Crumpen had reeled Astro right in for the long straight of Dottinger High, running alongside him as nighttime fell on the Nürburgring. Jolvo and JHS side by side too, with Jolvo edging in front. Astro took us on to the final lap though, with Crumpen providing him company. The pair stayed close while navigating around the first half of the GP circuit. Behind them in third place, Jolvo landed in the gravel, allowing JHS to sneak into third. Astral and Crumpen shared a brief touch heading onto the Nordschleife for the final time. Astral survived it and held position. With the bottom of the podium now as JHS received a dose of karma for his actions on the first lap, running wide onto the Nordschleife and seeing Jolvo reclaim third. Further down the field, D-Lox and Matt went wheel to wheel over Flugplatz, swapping 10th and 11th positions all the way to Foxhole when D-Lox managed to secure it. Zach was just up ahead and went late onto the brakes into Ardena Forst. Webby entered Bergwerk in 5th but overshot it and allowed Troyer to slip up the inside and left Webby down behind with DJ dangerously close. Troyer went wide, allowing DJ to make his move as he walked past the Ferrari ready for carousel. Up front, Astral and Crumpen hadn't let off each other at all throughout the whole of the final lap, but something had to give, and in this case this was Astral as a slight mistake clipping the grass out of Whipperman saw Astral's RCF and settle himself as he veers off into the barrier. He gets himself back into the fight, but it's not quite enough to immediately take his place back, and an attempted comeback fight ends sour, with Astro exiting the track from the jump once again, now giving Crumpen the lead for good. Another awkward landing at the jump, but this time for Silly Up You, although despite being a nasty off, he only conceded one position to D-Lox. A last minute challenge for 4th broke out in a mad rush to the penalty line with both DJ and JHS waiting to serve. Whilst fighting, DJ just slightly creeps over track limits once again and picks up a further 0.5 penalty. And now finally then to the line as Crumpen takes the checkered flag in first, Astral in second place in the RCF and Jolvo third in the RSR. But that's not it. Troyer and DJ go side by side as they reach for the flag. What a fantastic way to end what had been quite an eventful evening. Crumpen had the fastest lap of an 8:08.514, but with all the incidents, do you feel that Crumpen deserved the win? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. So that's it then for the weekly racing recap. Some exciting moments and some questionable ones too. But if you like these sort of videos, let us know in the comments and smash that subscribe button for more. We go live every week on a Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, so there's plenty on offer for everyone. Take it easy guys, and we'll see you in the next one.